Hey guys, so we're going to do a little bit of beauty news today. Morphe is coming to Ulta. Do you believe this? Ulta has been just bringing in all these brands that you hear about that maybe aren't quite as big as other brands. Well, Morphe is getting bigger. They're adding they're going to be adding more stores. Right now, the only way you can go to an actual Morphe store is to go to the one in LA. And so they're going to be adding on more stores. They did a deal with Ulta. And yeah, so they're going to be in select Ulta stores in October, I believe it is. So I'm pretty excited about that. Morphe is a cruelty-free brand. And it was a long time before I could find any confirmation on that at all, because when Morphe started off, all they made was brushes, and the brushes were made out of animal hair. And then they started expanding their line, and they started creating synthetic brushes, and now they even have some vegan brushes. So because they sell brushes with animal hair, I think a lot of people assume that the makeup had was tested, some of the ingredients maybe were tested on animals, but I can't remember now where I read it. I should have wrote it down so that I would have a source to quote. But yeah, Morphe is cruelty free, and so I'm really excited about this happening because I've always been curious about this brand. But if you know me and you know my channel, then you know I've had problems with credit card fraud, so I don't really like to order online. So this is great. I'm actually going to be able to see it in store. And it's not going to be all their stuff. It's just going to be whatever their best-selling products are at the time, because Ulta only has so much shelf space. But yeah, Ulta has been bringing in all these brands. I mean, they've got Sleek at certain Ultas now, and they've got a lot of brands are available online at Ulta now, which is better than nothing in terms of availability. They have Ofra, they have LA Girl, they have all the Wet n Wild products now on their website. And I wish they would bring Wet n Wild to stores. That would just give me one more place to try to find like specific items when they get popular. But they even have the things that used to be Target exclusives on their website. So yeah, Ulta is really just bringing in so many brands. And when people were talking about ColourPop coming to Sephora, Ulta put something on their social media too about that they might be getting ColourPop too, or that they were going to be getting ColourPop. Somebody had asked them, what does this mean, that Ulta's going to have ColourPop too in addition to Sephora? And Ulta's response to that was, stay tuned. So I guess they have something in the works, but maybe they just couldn't talk about it yet, because until something like a contract is signed, they can't really say for sure. But yeah, Morphe at Ulta, I can't wait. It's supposed to be October, but we shall see. And I don't know how long it's going to be, or how far I'm going to have to drive to get to an Ulta with Morphe, because I still haven't even seen the Sleek display yet. It's not exactly around the corner for me to get to an Ulta with Sleek. But yeah, I hope it's not going to be like with Catrice, because Catrice is at certain Ultas now too, and I was so excited about that. And then when I finally did see the display, it was kind of anticlimactic, because the products just didn't, I don't know, I didn't even end up buying anything. They just didn't grab me the way I thought they were going to. When I really, really looked at them, I ended up not buying anything. Speaking of brands that are carrying makeup or new products or new lines or whatever, or things that you have never gotten a chance to see, I think it was my last beauty news video, I was talking about how Burts Bees now has a full line of makeup, or maybe I was telling you in that video that they were developing one. Well, they have it. It's out. It's at Walmart stores. It's also, speaking of Ulta, it's also on Ulta's website. And I went up to the Walmart closest to me that was supposed to be carrying it, and they didn't have it out on the shelves yet. Well, now that some time has gone by, like a week or something like that, I don't know, I'm having second thoughts about this because the prices are kind of high. If you want to see the prices, go on Ulta or Walmart's website and take a look. But yeah, it's pretty pricey, and I've read some mixed reviews, so I just don't want to spend a lot of money and not like something and then get into a situation where I have to either return it or, you know what I mean? I hate returning things. So I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about that. If you've tried any of the new Burts Bees products, let me know in the comment section. You know, what did you think? Did you like anything that you bought? But yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about that. I do really like their lipsticks, but I don't know. I'm sort of up in the air on that. What else have we got here? NYX Cosmetics has released a new collection. I think it's limited edition called In Your Element, and it's based on elements. Well, when I learned about elements, as far as I knew, there were only 4: earth, air, wind. No, earth, air, fire, and water. But in this collection, they also have wind and metal. And I was like, wait a minute. Wind is not an element, and neither is metal. But I don't know. I guess they did that just to have more products to put in the collection. But it just would have made a lot more sense to me if they just had earth, air, water, and fire, like it should be or is supposed to be. But here's the thing. The eyeshadow palettes, have you seen these? They're very pretty, interesting selection of colors for the different elements. Did you see the price on them? $29.99 for the eyeshadow palettes. Are you kidding me, NYX? $30 for an eyeshadow palette from NYX? I've been having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that the Ultimate palettes are what, $17.99? I haven't been able to bring myself to buy one of those, never mind $30 for an eyeshadow palette. No, NYX, you are a drugstore brand. I am not going to pay $30. That's what the new MAC limited edition eyeshadow palettes cost. I think they were 30 or 32 or somewhere around there. I am not paying $30 for a NYX eyeshadow palette. NYX eyeshadows are pretty good, but they're not like exceptional. There are some hits and misses, and if you buy like a palette, some of them are good, some of them are just okay. No way. So yeah, you won't be seeing those from me anyway. The lipsticks are $8.99. That's reasonable, I think. So I don't know. I took a look at the colors, and there was one shade that looked really pretty, especially for fall, that I was maybe interested in, but I don't know. I don't really like to buy limited edition things. I say that all the time, and then I get sucked into it a lot of times, if I can find it. I still have not found the Wet n Wild Midnight Mermaid collection. I pretty much gave up on that. I wasted so much money and time looking for that damn collection, and I never did find it. I found the Halloween collection all over the place, but I don't know. I get so frustrated with it, but at the same time I get sucked into the hype, and I want the new products, so I don't know. I have such mixed feelings about limited edition collections. But yeah, this NYX collection is expensive. At least the eyeshadow palettes are anyway. But if you want to take a look at it, it's up on the Ulta website now if you want to see everything. So, okay, I have one more thing to show you. One more thing to talk about and show you. So I had to go get a new smoke detector last night. And so we got it at Walmart. And while we were there, of course, I can't not go to Walmart and go over and look at the makeup. So I did, and I came across this. And you tell me, I'm going to cover up the brand name, and say, what does this remind you of? What does this look like? Does this or does this not look like a Viseart palette? Or Viseart, some people pronounce it. But I read somewhere that the correct pronunciation was Viseart, but a lot of people do pronounce it Viseart. But wow, does that look like Viseart or Viseart, however you want to say it. Let me hold my palette up beside it. Isn't that something? I mean, this was definitely inspired, I think, by that company. This is hard candy. Yeah, this is a hard candy palette. There it is right there. So the official name of this is Hard Candy Look Pro Matte Eyeshadow Pro Palette. Yeah, I couldn't resist when I saw this. I was like, oh my God, I have to check this out. So I brought it home and opened it up, and now I can't get it open. It's stuck. Let me shut off the camera and open it. Wow, I almost couldn't get it open. This was the culprit. There are brushes that come with it. I haven't tried these yet. They feel nice and soft. And so yeah, they're nice size for travel. But yeah, I haven't tried those yet. There was a piece of tape on those that was jammed into the mechanism. Anyway, who cares, right? There's a little mirror up here. And here's what you get. There are 15 shadows in here as opposed to 12 shadows in the Viseart palette. And there's also a little more color here. Like you get a purple here, and in the Viseart palette there is no purple. And let's see, other than that, I feel like there's a better assortment of tone in this palette than in the Viseart. The Viseart palette to me is, it's pretty warm. Well, there's a gray and there's one cool tone color, but this is sort of a nicer assortment variety of tone and color. But they are all matte, and I did some swatching, and you know, it's not Viseart quality. Did I tell you the price? It's $10. So for a drugstore matte eyeshadow palette for 10 bucks for 15 shadows, I think this is a good deal. I do have some of it on today, but I also mixed in some other products. Like I don't know, whenever I do just an all matte look now, it just looks boring to me. I think it has a lot to do with your frame of mind and your mood. But if I just do, yeah, all matte shadows, I don't know, it just looks blah, unexciting, boring. So what I did was I started off with this palette, and then the further I got into it when I was doing my look, I ended up taking the gold pigment that is on the Wet n Wild Halloween display and putting that on my lids. Then I went back in here and took another shadow and put that like on the outside of my lids. My crease shade is here. It's this one right here is what I used in the crease, which is funny because if you look at my look and then look at that shadow, you'd never know it. I mean, it comes off on my skin way warmer. And then I used this one as my highlight, but again, it's matte. So I took my face highlight and put that on top of this shadow just because, I don't know, a matte brow bone highlight just, it looks so boring to me. But anyway, from what I did use, because I only used 3 of the shadows, but from what I did use, they were okay. And this shade right here actually performed really well in the crease. So I have to play with this a lot more to tell you what I think, you know, of just across the board, the palette. But my initial first impression is that this is a pretty darn good deal for 10 bucks. And a really, really nice selection of colors. I mean, there's just a lot of different kinds of looks you could do with this. So I think, you know, some people might be saying, oh, is this a dupe for the Viseart palette? No, not really. I mean, the packaging is similar and some of the colors are similar, but that's where the similarities end. You know, you can't compare the quality at all. But is it worth buying? Absolutely. It's only 10 bucks and there's a lot of shadows in there to play with. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I didn't even know about this palette from Hard Candy. Hard Candy doesn't get a lot of promotion or hype on YouTube, and I don't know why that is because they do have some really nice products. I almost used up my face primer from them, that coconut water one. The only reason why I didn't end up using it up is because I wanted to start getting some primers to go with some foundations that I had, because it just made sense in my mind to use primers by the same company as the foundation that I was using. But yeah, I could at any time, I could go back to using that Hard Candy primer and actually using it up because I did come really close. So anyways, boy, talk about getting sidetracked. That is my beauty news video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.